Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. I'm so happy to have you joining me today, and I've got a lot to share with you all. Um, there's quite a lot going on this month, and I want to give you some dates to mark in your calendar, and then we're going to be giving away the free reading today, and it's still possible to win. And I'll let you know a little more about that later. I'm going to share on what's going on here to begin with. Maybe take 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, I'm not sure. And yeah, and then I'll be looking more at your comments a little later. Okay? So it's a new moon. I've got the chart up there. Maybe if it, does anybody see the chart? Am I looking okay tech wise? Yes. Okay, great. I'm kind of experimenting with having the chart on one side here while I show you what's going on. And so you can see, and don't worry if you don't know how to read a chart. I'm just gonna, it's kind of my habit to look and kind of point with the cursor, but you don't need to focus on it. Um, but for those of you who can read a chart, you can see we've got an exact new moon here in Leo with Mercury. So we got three planets in Leo, and but the exact new moon in Leo. And I guess I want to encourage everybody to just tune into the new moon vibe. I don't know about you, but I started really feeling it yesterday. I'm definitely feeling it this morning. There's always something, I don't know, for me it's a kind of nice feeling at the new moon. Just feels like another fresh start and a sense of okay, can let go of that cycle, let go of 1 month cycle, and kind of open to the next month. It's like got another fresh start on life. You can really start a new life every month, and it's a great moment to do so at the new moon. So this is a special new moon for a couple of reasons. One is it's a Leo new moon, and we're at kind of peak Leo season right now. This is the peak of summertime here in the northern hemisphere. And on top of feeling the new moon energy, I'm really feeling the Leo energy. And so it's like, I don't know, if, have you been feeling the Leo vibe? I mean, it's like peak of light, peak of warmth, peak of sunshine. Even here in San Francisco, where it's way too foggy, too many days of the year, it's like here in August and September, it like warms up and the sun comes out more. And it's just like, it brings out your life force. And that's what Leo is all about, shining with your full light. And so it's a moment to really tune into how can you let your light shine more? How can you let your light shine more? How can you let your light be seen more? And but then tuning into the fact that it's a new moon. And so it's a special moment where you can set your intention for this whole next month to let your light shine. And so I encourage you to take a moment now, turn inward, and pray to your higher self. Higher self, help me shine brighter this month. I set a strong intention to shine more this month ahead. And you got 2 weeks until the full moon, which is a nice full moon. It's also in Leo. It's the second full moon during the sign Leo. I think they call that a blue moon, when there's two of the same sign that happen in the same month. And so there's like a lot of Leo energy happening. But that full moon, a couple weeks from now, is going to be exactly conjunct Jupiter. So just keep that in mind. This new moon, which is filled with life force energy, and you may be feeling kind of full of life force energy, kind of soaking in all the light and sun of the year, and then being radiant with it. But like 2 weeks from now, if you set the intention really strongly, when that full moon happens, I hope you're going to realize, wow, I've been shining a lot. Jupiter's on there, so Jupiter makes that bigger. It grants success to things. And so, yeah, the Moon Jupiter conjunction each month is a really special time to be focusing on, because it's a moment to really tune into abundance consciousness and kind of see how your life is filled with abundance. And so it's like, I feel like this is a special new moon for having strong intentions to let your creative light shine, and that there's a likely kind of payoff with Jupiter wanting to grant blessings and boons to those of you who choose to set a strong intention. And that's what it's always about, setting a strong intention to be aligned with nature, to be aligned with the cycles and seasons of this life we're living. And yes, so, okay. What else do I want to say here? So it's really great to be marking the new moon. One thing I've been more aware of recently, doing some research into more indigenous ways of experiencing the sky and different indigenous cultures around the world and how they open to the sky. And sorry, I'm getting used to being on the screen with the chart. And so I have to stay over here where my instinct is to stay over here. Okay. So, yes. Anyway, I was reading about different cultures, and there's, of course, a big emphasis on the moon and the cycles of the moon. And what I discovered is, peoples have marked the new moon not from like when it's exact, when you can't see the moon, but the first glimpse of the moon, the first crescent moon. That's the moment you recognize, oh, the new cycle has begun. Right now, the moon and the sun are so close together that it's kind of like a hidden gestation moment. Whereas tomorrow night, I want you all to get outside to see the crescent moon, the first glimpse of the new moon. That's a great moment to kind of ritualize. It's like right now you're setting the intention, but tomorrow night you go out, you hopefully, if the weather's good, please, San Francisco weather gods, if the weather's good, you'll be able to see the crescent moon. And it's like more and more, that's my strongest intention each month, is to pray to the new moon, to pray to the crescent moon, and align my intentions with the cycles of the moon. And it's like, if I set a strong intention at the beginning of this month, then by next month, it's like that intention has grown. And if you stay aligned with it, it's like so much is possible in 1 month. And then 2 months, your life can totally be on a new timeline. 3 months, that's a whole season of intention setting and intentionally aligning with the planets. And so I hope that's what everybody's been doing here on the channel. That's what I'm really encouraging here on the channel, is to get synced up with the cycles and seasons of the lights in the sky. And so, okay. Just going to pause for a second, bring up my notes. Oh, this is the Lion's Gate, everybody. I forgot to mention. This is the Lion's Gate, 8-8, the Lion's Gate every year. And they call it the Lion's Gate portal. And it's not something I was super aware of or focused on until a few years ago when I started kind of tuning into it. And it's kind of like a magic day. 8 numerologically has its own magic. It's associated with abundance. And but then the lion energy, of course, is Leo, and that sense of peak summer energy. But then what I didn't know until I did a little research is what the Lion's Gate explicitly is referring to is the time of the year when the star Sirius, first becomes visible in the morning sky. It's called the first heliacal rise of Sirius. And Sirius is the brightest star in our skies. And so it's the brightest object after, um, you know, Mercury's not always brighter than Sirius. And so it's a very bright light that is a part of our experience throughout our lives. And it's not surprising that it would be a focus for, again, indigenous cultures, but then it's always been a focus in even modern astronomy. And and so, yes, that's another thing that you might ritualize, like coming into deeper intimacy with the star Sirius. And I'm going to go out and try to see it in the morning. I'm excited. I've never done that before. I'm going to go try to see the first heliacal rise of Sirius. I'm going to have to figure out more about exactly when you got to go, but I imagine you got to go like an hour before sunrise. But maybe not. Actually, closer to sunrise would be when you would first see it. But really vividly seeing it, it's probably going to be getting up while it's really dark out. But 8/8 is a kind of rough date. My understanding actually is you're more likely to see it starting the 11th and then the 15th. And from then, you'll be able to spot Sirius. And I don't know much to say about Sirius except the one major thing that I'm aware of with Sirius, and that is that it's a sacred star to the ancient Egyptians, and they were very aware that when Sirius first rose, that it was at the time of the year when the Nile flooded, and so they associated it with life and abundance and bringing waters for the crops. And so it has that vibe to it. There's a kind of joyous quality in a way to Sirius's return to the morning sky. But the main thing I want to say is that I don't know if any of you are aware of the Dogon people of Mali. They actually, I think, are from Egypt before they moved to the Mali area of Africa. And there's a couple things about the Dogon. They're amazing from what I've learned, and I haven't gone that deeply into it, but they are a culture that is, they are lovers of cannabis. They are lovers of cannabis, and it informs their spirituality, and their legends say that cannabis comes from Sirius, that there are beings from Sirius that came and interacted with the Dogon, and they gave them cannabis. That's the legend. And so right there, yeah, that's a pretty cool thing for those of you that identify as Rastafarians, as Syrians. Yes, these legends say that UFOs came and they landed, and the beings that were inside the UFO were like dolphins. But they were aquatic. I don't know if they had some kind of technology where they were in water, and I don't know what it looked like, but it must have been really trippy, is my guess. These dolphin creatures came out and granted the Dogon the cannabis plant. So anyway, that's your anthropology lesson for today. Yes. What was I going to say? There's one other thing. The anthropologists that visited the Dogon people, I think in the 70s, there's a book about it called the Sirius Mystery, I think, and they learned about some of these legends. But what was amazing is they had an intimacy with Sirius where they were able to know that Sirius is a binary star system, and the small white dwarf star that is in the binary system with the major Sirius A, and then there's Sirius B. And they could describe this thing that wasn't discovered by modern astronomers until the late 1800s. But anyway, they also knew about the outer planets that hadn't been discovered. This is my understanding. So anyway, that's my little spiel on Sirius. And I hope you all get out and see Sirius. Maybe go out in about a week. That's kind of my thinking. to have a good chance of seeing it. Okay, what else are we going to talk about here? Okay, so you're going to get out and see the crescent moon, the new moon, tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. And then the night after that, another show happens, and that's when the crescent moon moves up to be right next to Venus. And here on the channel, we're starting to really track these monthly conjunctions of the moon with Venus. And it's been really special for me. I think I said this last week, but I was so drawn into tracking the Jupiter Saturn conjunction last year, month after month, when the moon joined it. And it was kind of sad in a way that I didn't have that as my intention each month. It wasn't alive anymore because Jupiter and Saturn were separating. And but then I got more intimate with Venus, started to understand Venus's cycles better, and I started to read about and understand this kind of ancient connection of the crescent moon with Venus, and how it's connected to the legend of the mythology of Inanna and Inanna's journey to the underworld, and how the Babylonians tracked these moon Venus conjunctions. In the evening sky, there are 7 or 8 of them. And then in the morning sky, there are 7 or 8 of them. And like basically connecting the conjunctions of the moon with Venus with Inanna's return from the underworld. And so in the evening sky. And so it's Inanna coming back from the underworld. That's where we are in the story right now. Venus is getting higher and higher each month, and each month the crescent moon comes to join her. It's higher up in the sky, and so like a month from now, it's going to be a little like a day later that that the moon will be right next to Venus. And so anyway, there's also the connection between each of these moon Venus conjunctions, the 7 or 8 of them, and not just the Inanna mythology, but also with the chakras. And it's like each month, it's like the chakras open more and more. And right now, this is the 4th moon Venus conjunction of the sequence, and that means we're at the heart chakra level. We're at the heart chakra level, and so it's like Venus has been back in the evening sky long enough so that we can really be opening our hearts to her. And I want to encourage you all to deepen your intimacy with Venus by going out to see her as much as is possible, as much as the weather will allow, even if it's just to look at her for a moment. To be able to see her regularly, this has been my experience as I've been focusing on it more. It's like just by looking at her and basically saying to her, I'm pausing from my ordinary life to gaze upon your beauty. And Venus is like, really? You notice me? And then it's like Venus wants to help you out. Venus wants to guide you to the sweet things of life. Venus wants to guide you to happy, intimate relationships. And she wants to guide you towards beauty. That's been my experience. It's like the more I appreciate her beauty, it's like she says, let me show you some other amazing, beautiful things by pulling your heart out the door in the direction where the beauty lives. And so, yes, I'm realizing that if I set the intention each month to be with her when the moon is next to her, the moon has to do with caring and connection and like a kind of emotional connection. And so with Venus, it's like the perfect moment to kind of enter into a real kind of caring, vulnerable, emotional, feeling-based connection with Venus. And so that's my intention 2 nights from now. Not tomorrow night. The night after that is when you're going to get the crescent moon right next to Venus. And And so I'm going to go, I'm hoping the weather's going to be clear. I'm going to try to take some photos, and it's like, it's a time to pray. It's a time to really focus on opening the heart chakra and feeling first like a lot of love and gentleness and kindness towards yourself. And from that feeling, which you may be feeling from Venus also, her love and sweetness for you. From that place, though, the capacity to share more love with the people you love in your life. And I think that's a good thing to focus on when engaging with the Moon Venus conjunction each month. It's like, it's about kindness, and it's about feeling loving connections with others. And so it's a real reminder to be kind to yourself and to be really sweet and tender with yourself. And then to look for that energy in others and to share that energy with others. And this is why going to see a Moon Venus conjunction with another person would make total sense. It's a great opportunity to go on a date with somebody you love and say, let's spend some time looking at this amazing astronomical event that you can't see all the time. And so, yes. Now, one more thing, this Moon Venus conjunction is going to be exactly opposite Neptune. Let's take a look at that here in the chart here. For a moment, I'm going to have a little sip of water. Let me just take a look at the chat here for a moment. Hi. Well, look, everybody's out here. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hello. Hello, everybody. Are you able to boost your sound? Is anybody else not hearing me well? It's going to be the sound on your end, I think. It shouldn't be. Oh, you know what? How's everybody hearing me? I forgot to put my microphone on. Teresa, you're the best. Okay. Tell me how bad it's been, everybody, with the recording. It sounds okay? Did it sound good before? I've put the microphone on now, but I forgot to put it on. How was it? Is it okay? Wow, there's a lot of comments here. Always check the microphone, everybody. Ross the Pleiadian. It's a little louder now. So much better. It was fine though. Okay, I just need to know it was okay. I'll freak out. I'll be able to fix it later. Okay. I need to be centered visually. Lisa. Yeah, I have this new setup I'm realizing that's not great. Because I'm trying to have the chart on here at the same time. This is a new thing. So I may switch this out, but I'm going to show the chart right now. Okay. So here you can see this the new moon, sun at 16 degrees Leo, moon at 18 degrees Leo, and Mercury's in there too. I didn't mention this, but we have a Mercury-Jupiter opposition. This is one of the things that I'll say a little bit about in a minute, but strong Mercury energies are building here in August. And so it's really a good time to be kind of expanding your mind. That's Mercury-Jupiter, kind of getting a big mental overview of things is good, but also positive mental attitudes, positive mindsets. Yeah, it's a really good time to kind of tune into what's your mind like when you're more optimistic, more positive, and there's a sense of, abundance consciousness. That's the Mercury-Jupiter kind of good attitude, the Mercury-Jupiter positive mind state. And there's more Mercury that I'll talk about, but for the moment, just focusing on the new moon here, but let's look a day from now. Oh, I got to do it over here. So tomorrow is when you're going to see the crescent moon for the first time, if you're lucky. And it is going to be in this triple conjunction with Mercury on one side, which I don't think is going to be visible. It's hard to see Mercury most of the time. And I don't think, yeah, it's too close right there. But the moon will be far enough from the sun that you should be able to see the crescent moon, and Mars will be there. And I think it's going to be hard to see Mars, but bring your binoculars and you may see it. Definitely think you can see the crescent moon, may or may not see Mars, but it's right there. This is another kind of fiery thing that's happening right here at the new moon, is that Mars energy is strong. The moon Mars happening tomorrow night it's like more action energy. You feel the fire of Leo, but then you also feel the fire of Mars and the capacity to take strong action on your intentions for the month. I think that's a good thing to kind of ritualize tomorrow night, is a sense of what is it to take strong actions for your intentions for this month ahead. Okay. And then the night after that, you can see, well, let me just go to the end of the day. This is the end of the day here in San Francisco. You can see the Moon-Venus conjunction here, and they are both opposite Neptune over here. So it's going to be beautiful regardless, but the fact that Neptune's in the mix, and Neptune's on one side of the Earth, and the Moon and Venus on the other, and so it's like a sense of this kind of embrace of not just Moon and Venus, but also Neptune, and Neptune is more of that kind of spiritual, sacred energy. And yeah, the sense of Neptunian kind of melting into the sacred, while at the same time the heart chakra opening. It's a heart chakra energy to begin with, the Venus-Neptune energy, but then it's also the Venus, the heart chakra Venus gate. These Moon-Venus conjunctions each month, they are called the Venus gates. So we're in the 4th Venus gate of 8 before she disappears and then comes back in the morning sky. And so anyway, it's a kind of double heart chakra energy that's super strong right now. And so if any of you are feeling a real kind of heart opening happening, Venus is already strongly opposite Neptune. I think it's exact right now. Let me come back here. Venus is, yeah, it's within 1 degree of opposite Neptune. And if you've been following the channel, we've focused on the Venus-Neptune conjunctions each year, the heart chakra portal. This is the heart chakra stargate, the Venus-Neptune opposition, and it's actually a kind of peak moment in the year for heart opening. Like if you really set the strong intention at the Venus-Neptune conjunction for heart opening and honoring the Venus-Neptune energy of like spiritual love, then this time of year, at least theoretically, there should be a kind of payoff for setting that intention at the beginning of the Venus-Neptune cycle. And the fact that it's happening at the same time that there's a Moon-Venus conjunction in the sky, I just feel really good about this alignment and this week, and setting the intention to get out and see the new moon tomorrow night, and then the Moon-Venus conjunction the next night. And then there's more stuff to look at for the rest of the month. And so I want to be sure to say a few more things here. And then I'm going to look more at your comments, and we're going to choose the winner of the free reading. Okay. The Perseid meteor shower is happening. The Perseid meteor shower is happening. It's actually happening already, but the peak of it is August 10th through the 13th. And I think peaking more the 11th and the 12th. And so, yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen the Perseid meteor shower, but it's pretty awesome. You can see up to 50 meteors an hour. And the way this one works you can get fireballs. That's what I want to say. You can get fireballs, really big meteors, and so yeah, it's happening all night, and you might do a little research to see if there's a kind of peak moment, like I think before dawn maybe, but yeah, get out there and see some meteors, everybody. And um, the other one I want to make sure to note is, yeah, there's a grand trine happening, everybody. There's a really lovely grand trine coming up. Let's see. The 18th. Okay, let's go forward to the 18th and check it out. Check it out. Okay, so just take note that we have an exact Mercury-Mars conjunction coming in. An exact Mercury-Mars conjunction, and it's basically August 11th to August 28th. And this is what I was saying earlier about, like, it has a lot to do with like finding your confident voice, learning to speak confidently, speaking with force from a place of true conviction. It's a kind of courageous intellect and confident speaker energy. And it can be, yeah, it's like using your words to assert yourself and to take action with your words. The way in which you can say something, and that's a real action that can really activate your timelines. And so, yes, it's a time this month for finding your voice, finding your words. It's a great one for writing, like kind of writing things out confidently, whether you share that writing or not. It's so helpful to just write things down. That's my experience. Like when you take the idea from like the consciousness realm or from your neurons, however you want to think about it, and you pull them down to the pen or the keyboard and you express them into reality, there's power in that. And so this is a really good month, I would say, for writing and exploring writing. If you're a creative writer, fantastic alignments throughout the month, and really for the coming months. And I want to say something about that in a moment. But what we're looking at here, August 18th, the exact Mercury-Mars conjunction is also trine to Uranus very tightly, but it's coming in for a little while by that point. And Uranus brings a kind of electricity and freedom and liberation, and you combine it with that kind of confident communication energy, and it brings even more creativity to it, brings even more of a kind of electric excitement to the mental acuity and communication. And so, yes, this is a really kind of good time for, for what we've been talking about. This could be like a kind of peak moment where a process of finding your confident voice kind of really bears fruit. And on this particular day, you can see the moon. The moon forms a very tight grand trine. Trines are associated with harmony and kind of supportive energy between the planets involved. And so, yes, to have Mercury and Mars trine Uranus is especially lovely, supportive vibe there for kind of mental excitement and exciting communication. You add the moon to it, and the moon brings feelings and vulnerability and a kind of emotional quality. And it has a lot to do with personal communication. And so this could be a good day for some important kind of communication with people you care a lot about. And it could be a cool one for writing a nice letter to someone. I'm thinking about doing that. And so, yes, you know, like an old handwritten letter. I think I'm going to do that with a special person. And so, yes, this whole day, the 18th, I think is really special. And you can see here Mercury and Mars at this point, they're also moving towards Neptune. So by the 18th, you're starting to get Mars opposite Neptune, Mercury opposite Neptune, and that adds another level to what we're talking about in terms of writing, communication, where Neptune gives more of its kind of spiritual inspiration and its kind of spiritual downloads and its gift for poetry and metaphor and, yeah, more flow states. It's like, I feel like as you get to the second half of the month, there's a real potential for moving into yummy flow states. And so it's like, if you set strong intentions right here at the new moon, again, are we here at the full moon yet? Where is that? Moon. Oh yeah, this is what I want to look ahead to, I think. Or wait, no, it's back a day. Yeah. No, that's what I want to do. Here's where the full moon happens on August 21st. See how it's conjunct Jupiter? And so when the sun sets on the 21st, you look on the western horizon to see the sunset. And then you go over to the eastern horizon as the full moon rises. It's going to be a full moon rising with Jupiter right next to it. And Jupiter at its peak brightness. And so that's pretty cool. Exact full moon with Jupiter. I mentioned this earlier. And so this is a very nice day to be tuning into. But you can see by the 21st, Mercury's really getting opposite Neptune. Mars is approaching Neptune, and that brings more of that kind of flow energy, the inspirational energy. Learning how to move is Mars. Neptune is moving in a flowing way. Okay, let's see what else. I mentioned the Mercury conjunct Mars. That's focused on August 11th through the 28th. And, but then Mercury goes retrograde on September 26th, and it'll come back to be on Mars from October 3rd to November 19th or so. And the sun will be on it for a while there, and the moon. So just kind of take note that there's something happening this month with Mercury conjunct Mars, like we've been talking about, that's about kind of finding your voice and speaking confidently. Watch out for speaking too confidently or too loudly. It can be kind of argumentative. That's the one shadow side of it to be mindful of. It brings such force to the mind and the voice that sometimes it needs to just pause and breathe and wait a moment, respectfully, for the other people to say something. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to sip my water and take a look at the chat. Oh, yeah. So this kind of finding your voice is happening this month, but then my point was it's coming back in October and November. And so it's like a process of finding more of your confident communication abilities happening this month, but you get more of it in the fall, okay? And the other thing I wanted to say is we've been in Mars opposite Jupiter. That's what we've been in. Mars has been opposite Jupiter really the last month. And so if any of you have been feeling a kind of building of energy and confidence coming in, that could be the Mars-Jupiter energy. For me, there's been a lot of athletics coming in this month. And I found this local hill that I've been climbing up a lot. And that's the Mars-Jupiter energy of kind of climbing up towards goals. And so it's like this fire is really coming in this last month, and it's building here with the Leo season, and it's kind of lighting up the voice, and it's going to lead right up until October, November, when it's like still going to be doing its thing with Mercury. And I think that's it, everybody. I think that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, I got it all out. Let's see what's happening in the chat here. And then we're going to pick the winner. Wow, there's a lot of chat. Okay, I got to catch up. Oh, I got to plug in my computer. Wow, there's a lot of people out there. Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for coming. Oh, I'm off screen again. Thanks for coming. Hi, Josh. Hi, Judy. Oh, okay, good. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of chat here. Thank you so much for all your comments. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm about to give away a free reading. I'm going to do this first so I can get rid of the chart. I know what to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Oh, maybe not. How do I get rid of this? Delete? Yes. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to do that again. I was like skewed off over here. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that again, everybody. Try to set it up better. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to give away a reading. I'm going to give away a 90-minute reading. I've already provided the instructions in previous videos. The main instruction was to send me an email with a couple sentences of an experience you had with the sky that was moving, powerful, and I received some of those. And I'm going to read a couple of them, and I'm going to choose the name first. However, and I'm aware that there may be one or two people out there that have not done this yet. Sent me the homework that I prescribed. It's okay. I'm going to give you another chance. And all you got to do now in the chat, you just got a minute. You got to write a planet that you love today. Today, I love Saturn. Today, I love Venus. That's all you got to do. And if you do that, your name's going to go in the hat, but you only got a couple minutes, so I need to see response. Most of you are in the hat. 2 chances to win? No, not 2 chances to win. That seems unfair. Now I'm moving the computer around. I don't know. I'm going to figure out this tech better. I promise. Okay. Okay, June, you're in the hat. You love the sun. I've been falling in love with the sun lately. I meant to say this with regard to Leo season. I mean, this is the season of the sun. This is the season of the sun. And it's so, unless it's too hot out, if you can get out and enjoy the sun, that's the best way to honor Leo season, one of the best ways. And God, it's like here in San Francisco, because it's so often foggy and at pretty much a standard temperature that doesn't vary much. This time of year, though, you more regularly get warmer and more sunnier weather, and it's just been so special. It's so precious when you get a sunny day. And so now is the time to sing songs to the sun, gratitude to the sun, and send love to the sun. You're in the hat. Yes, Raven. You love blazing heat. I get it, June. Bathtub bulletin. That's a new one. I'm writing you down. I also have another instruction that I gave to some people that I have to check on. Don't let me forget to check my email. Okay. Bathtub bulletin. You are going in the hat. Mike! Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Mike! Loves Jupiter! Mike loves Jupiter. I mean, it's hard not to love Jupiter. Did you hear the part where I said that there's going to be a Moon-Jupiter conjunction? That's at the full moon. So when there's a full moon, you'll be able to see Jupiter. You got to go out and do it. Did I miss anybody here? Oh no, I almost missed Marla. Jeez. Okay, Marla, you're going in the hat. Marla's going in the hat. Let's see. I think okay. All right. I'm almost going to shut this down. Yep, Marla goes in the hat. Jupiter's your ruling planet. Lucky you. Okay, I just got to check my email just to honor all of the different rules I gave for the prize. Okay. Okay, I think everybody's in. Okay, we're about to lock this down. All right. Here we go. This is it. I'm going to use the ancient divination practice, ancient divinatory practice, known throughout the ages as pull a name from the hat. And this is not the hat. This is not the hat. It was the hat until I found this hat. Until I found this hat. Okay. No, it's more like, is that it? See, this is a great hat because you can form all these different shapes. It can be a cowboy hat. It can be a witch's hat. What's that called? Witch's hat, I guess. All right. So, okay, I'm transferring all of the names. Here they go. They're all going in. They're all going in. That one fell out, but I'm going to pick it up. Okay. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So you can see this is totally fair. You're in the hat, Teresa. Yes, don't worry. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I gotta relax. I gotta relax. Make sure it's the right one. This is it. Oh, it's Renee. Renee, that's you, right, Raven? Is that right? Raven, you're Renee? I think so. All right, I'm going to confirm that. Renee, you win. Congratulations. Oh, good. I've got confirmation. I'm so happy our winner is present. And Raven, I'm so glad that you won. There's many other people. Everybody, in fact. I'd be happy for everyone. But I'm super happy it's you. You've been such a supportive subscriber to the channel, and I've loved all your comments. And I'm so looking forward to meeting with you for 90 minutes. And I got your email. We'll set it up, okay? We're going to set it up, and I'll send you options, and we're going to do it as soon as you want. Okay, okay. All right, we did it. We did the prize. Yay to Raven. Okay. Sorry, June. Yeah, it's hard sometimes. Okay. Okay, so now you're sending me energy. Yeah, that's the way it works, Raven. So I want to read, there were a few comments that I want to be sure to read here, at least one or two. Let's see. I think I have one from you, Renee, don't I? Yeah, I think you were the first person to contact me, Renee, so you really deserve this. Here's what you wrote. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to read what you wrote. My little story is the supermoon. I got up early and drove a few hundred feet to see between the trees. I sat there and watched from before until after. It was a beautiful experience that I photographed. It felt like I was in 5D. It seemed to activate something within me that wasn't there before, as I find myself higher vibed continuously. Let's see. Was there something else here? I guess I do know the basics like cycles. I celebrate them. I sit with Vega in the morning, with the Pleiades in the eastern sky. What I don't know is how it all pertains to me other than feeling a connection to our ancestors. Well, yeah, I understand that feeling of a connection with the ancestors. Um, yeah, there's something about staring and communing with the different lights of the sky that kind of pulls us towards an awareness of beings that are in other realms, certainly our ancestral connections. And so thank you for that. And let me see. Josh, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to read what you wrote. Say all of your videos are my sky watching guides. I tried to take each of your recommendations and apply them to wherever I am in the world at the time. I was most recently enjoying your recommendations to watch the Venus-Mars conjunction in Leo. I'm up in Oregon these days in the far western reach of Pacific time zone, which means we get sunlight super late, and that makes it hard to see Mercury. So I've just barely been able to catch Venus and Mars before they disappear into the fading sunset. I said Mercury. It makes it harder to see the lights that come, the planets that come out after the sun, because it's, yeah, so late in the day. The most powerful sky watching adventures I have had, thanks to you, were during the Great Conjunction of 2020, when I was still living in San Francisco. Things were so quiet in SF during the early days and weeks of the pandemic. People were afraid to go outside. Fear seemed to be everywhere. And yet this profound connection with the planets that you highlighted helped me feel more at peace and present in the moment. You brought such an infectious sense of love and delight at being alive that it made me feel everything was exactly as it should be. Thank you for that. Thank you so much, Josh. I said this last time, but making the videos last year during the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction and getting out there every month, it helped me get through the pandemic. It helped me get through the toughest times here in San Francisco. And I'm just so grateful to my practice of going out to see special alignments in the sky, how that served me, how the planets got me through last year, in part, that and Haagen-Dazs. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And there's another one. I want to read one more. I think, wait. Okay, here's one from Sandra B. I want to share my experience with Jupiter this past month. Just before writing to you this email, I sat down in my terrace, and without surprise, in front of me, I saw Jupiter, my old good friend. The first time I had a strong connection with this cosmic body was about a month ago. I woke up super early at 4:44 a.m. and was driven to get up and go to the terrace. I saw Jupiter at the other side of the moon, and it felt that they had invited me to witness their dialogue just before fading away. It was magical. The other important moment was during the last full moon. I was waiting outside under the clear night sky to enter the sacred space of a healing spiritual ceremony, and felt as if Jupiter again with the moon winked me an eye and blessed me before that powerful night. The last week I had tough days of integration, and each time I was seeing Jupiter, this time in solo, I felt as if supported by an intimate friend telling me it's going to be good and cheering me up. Thank you so much for that, Sandra. So thank you, everybody. I'm happy to continue this for another 10 or 15 minutes. If there are any questions or comments out there, I'd be happy to engage those. Maybe while we wait, I know I have one more. Anybody who hasn't hit that like button, if there's anybody that's not subscribed, that really helps me out. Would love to have you aboard my channel. And I promise you, this is just the beginning of the adventures of this starship. It's just the beginning. And I feel like the years ahead are going to be filled with lots of amazing alignments in the sky and lots of inspiration and love. And yeah, next year, I hope, I think I've talked about this in a couple of my recent videos, but we're moving into a Jupiter-Neptune conjunction next year. Pretty much starts to come in January and February, and then it's strong all year. And this only happens every 13 years or so. And the two planets together have so much to do with hope and faith and a kind of positive visions, hopeful dreams. And so, yeah, it's like redemption consciousness, spiritual joy. It's one of the best for positive mind states. We were talking about Mercury, Jupiter. That's definitely one for positive mind states. Jupiter, Neptune all year is kind of like the transpersonal level of that, the potential for really positive journeys in consciousness. And yeah, the big spiritual peak experiences that kind of give you hope for the next 13 years. That's how big they can be. So that's what we're heading into. And I have a feeling we're going to have some fun next year here on this channel. And so this is a good time to subscribe. What do we got down here? Talk more about Syrians. Okay. I can maybe talk a little more about the Syrians, but I'm just going to read channel member Tessa wrote me something amazing, and I'm just going to read this. I want to take you up on the invitation to share an experience of getting outside to see the stars. I live in the city, and sometimes it can be difficult to see the sky at night with tall buildings and light pollution. Last year, during the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, I was able to get out to see them over the months as they came together and then separated. One special thing is that I connected to several neighbors standing on the sidewalk while looking up at the sky. At the time, we were still pretty much in lockdown mode, not socializing much and still wearing masks outside on the street. It was a sweet time to take a moment to be pulled outside of ourselves and to look towards the heavens. On the night of the exact conjunction, my husband and I stood at the edge of the best viewing space nearby, a parking lot where many of the lights had burned out. As we stood there like animals gathering at a watering hole, another couple and a single woman appeared. We all stood on the outskirts of this open space and looked up at the sky. Magically, one remaining streetlight went out for several minutes, giving us the gift of darkness and the clearest view we would have all night. I love that it had brought each of us outside and imagined at the moment that we were each saying our own personal prayer. Thank you so much for that, Tessa. Yeah, I think more and more that is astrology at its best. Like the way in which the sky can bring people together. Like I was saying earlier, if you find a, astronomy buddy, astrology geek to share in some night sky experiences, like set the intention with a friend to try to see a Moon-Venus conjunction in the coming 3 or 4 months, or get up early with a friend or your roommate or your loved one and go out, just spend a half hour with the Moon-Venus conjunction. And it's like it brings you together, it brings you into a heart space, and it's like a shared experience of nature. And so I really feel that in what Tessa wrote here. And it's like that added element of prayer. That's what kind of transforms mechanistic, astronomy into astrology. It's just astronomy plus prayer. Astronomy plus ritual. And astronomers are definitely praying, a lot of them very consciously so, but there's a way in which the discipline of astronomy, like all sciences, has been, turned in the direction of scientific materialism. And the opposite of scientific materialism would be talking more about the Syrians, which Mike asked me to do. Let's see. Okay. I have another sip of water here. more about the Syrians. Yeah, I just like the different elements of the story. You know, the anthropologists that go to the Dogon people and they learn of their love of Sirius, and they learn that they have such deep intimacy with Sirius that not only are they visited by beings from Sirius, but they have this kind of communion with it to the degree that they're aware of things about Sirius that it took huge telescopes to discover. The fact that it has a companion star, Sirius B. And to me, that's kind of an embodiment of what we're talking about here in the approach to astrology. It's like, it's a kind of psychic communion with the planets or the stars that is so profound that you experience beings coming to you and communicating special things to you and maybe sometimes gifting you with cannabis. Seems like a pretty amazing story to me. And dolphins, now there's some debate out there whether dolphins come from Sirius or the Pleiades. I've always thought that dolphins are from the Pleiades, but they probably live in multiple star systems. Clearly, they live in ours, and they live at least in the Pleiades, so they like to travel around the universe, and they love life, dolphins. So, yeah, makes sense that they be, they be Rasta dolphins. Is that enough, Mike? Raven votes for the Pleiades being the source of dolphins. I think that's what I'm reading you to say. Is it true that the Syrians started the wars in the sky? Oh my God, that's deep, Raven. I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of the Syrians being warlike creatures. I've heard that there might be some beings from Orion. Oh, my Siri just started here on my computer. It's like Siri. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think the war started from Sirius. That's just my feeling. I think there's really loving beings like the dolphin beings that hang out there. And yeah. Was I going to say something else? In the 1950s, the first some of the first UFO encounters involved visitations from space brothers and space sisters, and some came here to California, George Adamski down in Joshua Tree, and they said that they were Venusians. They said they were from Venus. Now, what's interesting about that is you would think nobody can live on Venus. It's like, as soon as you go into the atmosphere of Venus, it's just like acid rain. You're just done. But this raises the question of whether beings of light can materialize here on the Earth from other dimensions, and are there other kinds of planets that exist outside of the visible spectrum that beings of light can habitate upon? That's an open question, but that's another thing. Delphinus. Oh, the dolphin constellation? Yes, I have seen that. I didn't know it existed until not too long ago. I think I'm going to pull a few cards before we end here. Who wants a card? First person say yes will get a card. Oh, by the way, if any of you are disappointed that you didn't get the free reading, I am not going to give away any other free readings, but I would be open to giving a $50 discount on a reading on my longer fees, a 90-minute or 2-hour fee. And I do have a link in the box below that'll take you to my calendar where you can see what's available. But contact me if you want to get this $50 discount. You have to contact me in the next 24 hours from noon, Sunday, August 8th, California time. That's how long you have to take advantage of this very time-sensitive offer. Okay. Look for it. Okay, June wants a card, Raven wants a card, Mike wants a card. So let's start with June. Since we were talking about dolphins, this card's for you. Let's see. I have to do it here. It says, safe and surrounded by love. You're safe and surrounded by love. Keep your heart open and know you are being protected. Listen to what you know to be true and allow yourself to see and understand what is going on around you. Do you believe it, June? That you're safe and surrounded by love? I know you do. And of course, you're in the most amazing place for dolphins in the world. I'm so jealous. Yes. Okay. What's the next one? I feel like there's a unicorn card for who was after June. Okay. Raven, you're going to get a unicorn. You're going to get a unicorn, and Marla wants a card. Okay, you live on Maui. I just wanted to make sure you're okay with me disclosing your location. Yeah, that's where dolphins come from on planet Earth. That's what I think. They come from the heart chakra of the planet, which is Hawaii. Does anybody else think that there's a place on Earth that is more the heart chakra place on Earth? I know there's lots of contenders, many, many contenders, but I think Hawaii has to win the heart chakra contest. And this is going to be your unicorn. Here it is. Oh, yeah, baby, you got a really good unicorn. Oops. Wait, I got to do this. It says magic. It's a magic unicorn. It's a magic unicorn. It says make a wish, believe in miracles, magic surrounds you. Make a wish, believe in miracles, magic surrounds you. This is for everybody. I forgot to say, these cards are for the individual people who requested them. However, they're for everybody. Any card that shows up anywhere is for anybody that sees it. That's obvious, but you can thank Raven and June for these cards. They pulled them for everybody. Magic. This is like an amazing card. Come on. Look how beautiful. There's fairies here too. There's 2 fairies and a magic unicorn. That is really good fortune for all of us. Okay. Who is next? Who is next? Okay. We got June, we got Raven, now Mike. Mike, we're going to go with a Sacred Rebels Oracle card. Sacred Rebels Oracle card for Mike and everybody. This is going to be an important message from our sponsor. Important message from our higher self, the highest sponsor. Here it is. Here it is. Ooh, this is a deep one, Mike. This is a deep one, everybody. This is maybe my favorite card in the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Maybe. I can't say for sure, but look at her. Look at her. She feels she knows. How do you relate to that? She feels she knows. That could be another person who's feeling something pretty deep. I mean, this is a deep, deep one here. Deep, beautiful, powerful, feminine energy here. So it could be your own deep inner knowing, your deepest feeling sense around something really important, where it's like, you know, when you're kind of fooling yourself that somebody doesn't know something, you like, it's like, maybe they don't know that thing. I'd rather they didn't know. And it's like you're fooling yourself. They know. And it's the same for yourself. Like, you know something pretty deeply, and you got to honor that. You got to respect the truth of it. That's what I got to say about that. Okay, we're moving into the Heart of Fairy Oracle. I hope there's another fairy lover out there. Let's see. Marla, I think, was next. Is that right? We did June, Raven, Mike, Teresa. Teresa gets the fairy. Teresa gets the fairy. Let's see. And then Marla. And is there anybody else? Okay. Teresa and Marla. Then we're going to call it a day. Oh, this is interesting. The shadow of the past. Things just got deeper, everybody. This isn't exactly a fairy. This is a fairy deck. I don't know if these are fairies. They could be fairies. They're just fairies with a shadow in their past. This one always kind of pulls me into deeper reflection on things. Kind of pulls me into deeper reflection on, yeah, that card, she feels she knows. Maybe these are connected. She feels she knows. She knows about that shadow in the past. She knows about the shadow thing that needs to be felt into, that needs to be emotionally processed. But I think we need another Heart of Fairy Oracle card to go with the shadow of the past. I think we need another one. Oh, here we go. Here we go, Teresa. Shadow of the past, but the Lady of Song. Shadow of the past, but the Lady of Song. There's some shadow in the past, but now you're singing. Now you're singing. Maybe you're singing the blues a little bit, but you're singing. You're singing, and you found the music to sing your song to. And that goes for everybody. We got a shadow in the past. We know some shit that's true, but we got a song to sing, a song from me to you. That's what we're doing here. Okay, what did I say? One more? What deck's it going to be? What deck's it going to be? I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it. Okay, we're going with this. This deck, oh my goodness, am I going to remember it? Which one is it? I'm having a little problem finding the name of this deck. I'm sorry. I apologize. Where'd it go? Is this it? No. Okay, sorry everybody. I always like to try my best to give the name of a deck that I'm using. This deck clearly wants to be the deck of our last card. Is this it? Oh, check it out. I don't know if I've even ever seen this card before. I hope everybody out there that has new decks of cards, actually, I don't want to say that. I think however you relate to your deck is fine. It says, the Relics of Lemuria, Fragments, Memory, Reclaiming. See, now it's very different from this card here. The Shadow of the Past versus the Relics of Lemuria. You transform the shadow of the past into a precious relic and reminder of Lemuria, the most profound and magic culture that's ever existed on Earth. That's what they say. That's what they say. So that's it, everybody. That's it. Any last thoughts here? I'm reading your thoughts here. Oh, wow, there's a lot of thoughts. Light a candle every day. Make a wish when you blow it out. Magic unicorn. Light a candle every day. I try to do that. I need to make a wish every time I blow it out, though. I like that. I didn't forget anybody, did I? I hope I didn't forget anybody. Okay, there's one more magic card. There's one more magic card. Here it comes. Energy. We come back to energy. Whoops. Here it is. Here's our last card. We come back home to Leo season, Leo new moon. It says energy. Life force is flowing. Open yourself to receive the power from within. That's Leo. That's Leo right there. Okay. Everybody enjoy this new moon energy. Enjoy this new moon energy. Tune into the Leo part of it and how this is a kind of peak energy moment for the whole year. And so it's a moment to really feel into all of your personal energy and then take strong actions to pursue your dreams. And I said blessings and love and light and faith to you all. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. And thanks for everybody that's a subscriber. It's been a magical journey here on this YouTube channel, and I just feel the magic is going to continue. So much love, everybody. Much love.